I hope I'm not the first to tell you that self care is health care. So, welcome, y'all. This is Nakia, Nakia's Peace of Life, and we're in one of my spa areas here, which I'm sure you have one too. It's your bathroom, a place to be able to heal, take baths, elimination, cleansing, and it's right on point, right? Today I'm going to share with you, again, we're on my 21-day fast, and this is going to be a collection of day 19, 20, and 21. And really how this entire journey has helped me to reflect even more on, how I'm using my energy, where are the points at which I'm resting, relaxing, and rejuvenating, and really taking that into consideration, not just for short term, but for long term as well. And that really is a return on the investment. So, again, this is Nakia here, and I've been talking about my 21-day fast, water fast, abstaining from all foods, and you're joining me in my healing bathroom right now. And it is three primary things I'm going to cover with you all for each of the days, and that is the same thing as it's always been, right? You could probably say it with me now. One, my energy levels. Two, productivity. And three, right, lessons learned. And so we're going to do this in the bath. I hope that it inspires you. Um, the candles in the back have gone out, so and this is my second bath of the day. So uh, I have been taking baths throughout this entire process, and it was a practice I was already doing before as well, as a way to cleanse, purify, get rid of, any bad energy or any bad toxins off the body. It's not just, washing, it's really a purification opportunity. And so, with that, let's get right into it with day 19. Okay, so day 19, and just going through with you all, high energy levels. I say I was about 98%. I felt ready to take on the world, especially after the night before. I had did food prep with the children. I had did my hair, which I put in on Instagram, the process that I did with my hair the first time I did this. It did not turn out like this the first time because it was still wet, so my coils were still really tight, and I used the flaxseed gel for that, and so going through that early in the morning, that was really cool. I really enjoyed being able to share that with you all. So make sure you check me out on Instagram as well at Nakia's Peace of Life. And basically, this is step two. Just at the end of the day, I redid all of my Bantu knots. Just moisten my hair with my hands with a little bit of water and oil. Even though I was tired, but I was super pumped about the process so far. That was 19, and it was really good. And I had did some volunteering work at the academy, and just seeing the team and everyone coming together really brought inspiration for me. And my daughter started back up with some classes for ballet. It's something that she really enjoyed doing. And so overall, right, the energy to be able to go through those things was really, really good. And I was like, man, this is day 19 out of 21. Man, really doing it. And it was really exciting, and, a great reminder of, once you put your mind to something, once you're disciplined enough, no matter what your faith background is, that faith, within yourself, and the ability that the Creator has put within you, is like the stimulation of that mustard seed. You're giving it life, you're giving it love, you're giving it hope, and if you don't give those things to yourself, seeking it outside, and when you don't get it, it can be very disappointing. It can be something that could lead you down a path of, regret and feeling empty. But if you put the time in to actually, take care of yourself and make time, you have time. It's just a matter of making the time, making the space, creating the room so that you become a top priority on that list. And that's what I felt like during this process of making myself that priority and having the energy and the discipline to show for it. So again, the energy, I felt really awesome. Again, doing my hair, I felt really good. And that would be my energy levels for day 19. When it came into, productivity, I kind of talked about it with my energy levels, just, being able to volunteer with the academy, being able to, take my daughter to class, having lunch prepped, staying on top of the children to make sure they eat. Sometimes the children like to eat and play at the same time, and it's like, y'all, we gotta go to one place, then they're hungry later. That's a whole thing, for moms and dad that have to manage, making sure children eat, especially before going to practices, whether it's soccer, football, basketball, whatever sport or activity, dance, art that they do, making sure they eat. So then when they get to class, they're fully, present, and it's not any barriers to them being able to learn properly. So whether they haven't slept, whether they haven't eaten, whether they are aggravated because of something new and they need some support. These are just some of the things that could definitely stop within learning, which is the same for us. If we're deprived in any of those areas, the productivity that I talk about, it can be very hard to transfer that energy that I had into something that's productive. And so I was able to do the things that I listed out, and I was so happy with those. Definitely, I believe got to bed a little bit late that night. I was finishing up some other things, but overall, I felt really good about what I was able to accomplish that day. And going into right away, the lessons that I learned for day 19 were that I am more conscious of food waste. Again, I was just talking about food. When I see my children not eating something, like before, I'd be like, oh, it's okay, just, toss it in compost, or you don't have to eat it. I have been like, I'm not eating, you better eat that food. Matter of fact, I won't give you a whole bunch. I'm just going to give you a little bit, and I want you to eat it. And what I've noticed, I don't know if it's just because it's summertime, my oldest hasn't been as hungry. It's just been like fruits or things like that. And I've been like, then you also have to try it out. Like, was it really good? Tell me, don't waste the food. I'd rather you, us figure out something else for you to eat. But then, even that, there is nothing else. That's what you need to eat. And sometimes that is the case. I really wanted them to get it in their minds that there are people that are hungry. And if we have food and we're wasting food, we're really being very wasteful and not thankful for what we have. And so if there's some leftovers or things like that, we definitely put it in the compost. I've been talking with my son who's 3 years old. It's like, baby, if we have leftovers, we put it in the compost. And then what happens when we put it in the compost? He's like, we put it outside and it turns back into dirt. Yes, like this is a process that has taken time, but by us, incorporating that, it's like eat as much as we can and then also be mindful. Let's not put as much on our plates if, they talk about our eyes being bigger than our bellies. Put a little bit at a time. Eat a little bit at a time. So my lesson learned is definitely I've been more conscious of food waste and then getting back to the ways that I used to have our fridge. So one of the things that I used to do in preparation for food is when we would budget out, Ruben and I budget out the food items, the goal was at the end of the week, the fridge would be empty. I really love this concept because it helped to minimize the amount of waste that was in the fridge. It made sure that pretty much we stuck to our food plan. There are things that sometimes would change, that's fine, but ultimately that means whatever food that we had in, we're going to eat it. And then, then we can go from there. I really like that, especially as, the week went down and we're getting back to that. It's like, oh, there's not much in the fridge, but there is because sometimes there's dried things, there's fresh things, and it doesn't necessarily take up a lot of space. And so we're really focused on, eating what we had, sticking according to our plan, which helped to stick to the budget that we have for our food, and just being more accountable for the food that we have and being less wasteful. So overall, more conscious about the food that we had, even though I'm not eating, is a good practice to instill back into the children. So that ends our session for day 19. I want you to go ahead and stay tuned. I'm going to stay right here in the same healing session of the space, and get right into day 20. So make sure you stay tuned for the second part of this third part wrap up for my 21-day fast. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe, and hit that notification button there so that you can get that next video, even though it's coming soon. All right. Peace and blessings to all of y'all. And remember to find peace in life and living foods, which is what you see, what you hear, what you consume with your mouth and your entire body, and that they all be to the nourishment of your body. I love you all so much, and look forward to seeing you for day 20.